A Course in Miracles Workbook for Students, Part 1 of the workbook. We are on Lesson 87. Our review today will cover these ideas. Lesson 73, I will there be light. I will use the power of my will today. It is not my will to grope in darkness, fearful of shadows, and afraid of things unseen and unreal. Light shall be my guide today. I will follow it where it leads me, and I will look on only what it shows me. This day I will experience the peace of true perception. These forms of this idea would be helpful for specific applications. I cannot hide the light I will to see. You stand with me in light. And then name somebody. You stand with me in light. In the light, this will look different. Lesson 74. There is no will but God's. I am safe today because there is no will but God's. I can become afraid only when I believe there is another will. I try to attack only when I am afraid, and only when I try to attack can I believe that my eternal safety is threatened. Today I will recognize that all this has not occurred. I am safe because there is no will but God's. These are some useful forms of this idea for specific applications. Let me perceive this in accordance with the will of God. It is God's will you are His Son, fill in the blank, as mine and mine as well. This is a part of God's will for me, however I may see it. And then we have 134. Mine, let me find it up here. I bet you saw it. Oh, there it is. It is in God's will. It is God's will you are His Son, and mine as well. 134. Mine here means my will. In other words, it is my will as well that you are His Son. There is even a handwritten change in the your text replacing mine with my will, though this change was subsequently crossed out. I am reading out of the commentary by Alan Watson and Robert Perry, Lesson 87. Review of Lesson 73, I will there be light, and 74, there is no will but God's. Practice instructions. Follow the instructions in the introduction. Commentary. Today's review deals with will, ours and God's, which are one. The Course encourages us to make use of the power of our will. It constantly encourages us to choose again and says that the power of decision is your one remaining freedom as a prisoner of this world. We can will or choose that there be light. Naturally, this accords with God's will. You could say, I suppose, that our one true choice is to decide to agree with God's will, and we must make this choice over and over until we realize there is no other will, and therefore no actual choice except that between reality and illusion. In the review of There is No Will But God's, there is an interesting summary of the progression of the ego's error. I believe there is another will besides God's. Because of this I become afraid. Because of fear I try to attack. Because I attack, I fear my own eternal safety, thinking God will attack me for being an attacker. The solution is simply to recognize that none of this has occurred. Knock down the basic premise. Realize that there is no will but God's, and the rest of the progression disappears. I like the way both ideas are applied to how I see the other people around me. You stand with me in light, Sean, and is it in God's will you are His Son, Sharon, and mine as well. One night in our study group in Sedona, we were studying Chapter 14, Section 5, The Circle of Atonement. The whole section is about seeing other people as within a circle of peace, seeing them as included, or seeing them standing with me in light as it is put there. In that section, Jesus urges us, stand quietly within this circle. Excuse me. Stand quietly within this circle and attract all tortured minds to join with you in the safety of its peace and holiness. It says that this is the only purpose to which my teaching calls you. Our only purpose here is to awaken everybody to the fact that they are included in God's peace and safety because there is no other will than His. Imagine mentally greeting everyone you meet today by saying, "You stand with me in light." What kind of effect would that have on you or on them? Lesson 109 says that it has a profound effect, not just on people you actually meet, but on everyone in the world, even those who have passed on beyond the world, and those still to come to it. Each hour that you take to rest today, a tired mind is suddenly made glad. With each 5 minutes that you rest today, the world is nearer waking. You rest within the peace of God today and call upon your brothers from the rest to draw them to their rest along with you. You will be faithful to your trust today, forgetting no one, bringing everyone into the boundless circle of your peace, the holy sanctuary where you rest. Open the temple doors and let them come from far across the world and near as well, your distant brothers and your closest friends. Bid them all enter here and rest with you. You rest within the peace of God today, quiet and unafraid. Each brother comes to take his rest and offer it to you. We rest together here, for thus our rest is made complete, and what we give today we have received already. Time is not the guardian of what we give today. We give to those unborn and those passed by, to every thought of God, and to the mind in which these thoughts were born and where they rest. And we remind them of their resting place each time we tell ourselves, I rest in God. Lesson 87, review of Lesson 73, I will there be light, and Lesson 74, there is no will but God's. Thank you for joining with me and with you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.